of nursing homes. A couple other messages that we are hearing about. Yesterday we made a huge announcement about schools. I want to tell everybody that folks are working hard. Teachers are awesome. They're getting on it. They're working already. We're getting lots of creative ideas. Students, we need you too. We need you too. You got to get up on time next week. It's regular school. Get to work and do the assignments and help us out. But as I said yesterday, I don't want to throw in the towel. We want our kids to learn, and we're going to go to distance learning for everybody starting Monday. Utilities, I announced yesterday, but we're hearing a lot about it, so I want to announce it again. The Public Utilities Commission has ordered that all regulated utilities, gas, water, electricity, cannot be shut off as we deal with this crisis on account of your inability to pay. You cannot be charged late fees for being delayed. So again, there's so much stress right now. That's one stress. Just take it off your plate. I want to make a special thank you to Cox Communications. After seeing yesterday's press conference, Cox reached out to us. They made a $35,000 donation to the Department of Education to help us with distance learning. And they've agreed to not cut off service and to waive any late fees to customers who can't pay their bill on account during the period of the crisis. So I want to thank Cox for that, and really appreciate that because everybody needs to be informed. And to all of the businesses who are stepping up, thank you, every single one of you. I announced a philanthropic effort 2 days ago. We're well over $2 million. We need more. Keep it coming. To everybody who's in the boat, rowing in the same direction, thank you. We're going to get to recovery. Everyone wants a date. I don't know the date. Anyone who's telling you a date, I don't think is being straight with you. So what we're doing is we're trying to put a lid on it, and then we're going to look at, I'm going to have my eye on certain metrics, certain criteria for when we can reopen things. How many tests can we do a day? How many new cases do we have in a day? How many extra hospital beds do we have? How many people can we effectively quarantine at once? And once I start to see us moving in that, hitting those marks that we need to hit, then that's when we can start to think about going back to a more normal lifestyle. But I will tell you this, the speed with which we get there depends on what you do right now in the next couple weeks. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Nicole Alexander Scott, and then I'll come back for questions.
Thank you, Governor. Good afternoon. I also want to add to what the Governor said by thanking the Attorney General for his leadership on the price gouging issue. The Governor has been talking a lot over the last few days about Rhode Islanders coming together. We are seeing that example again and again. That's how we can be confident that we will get through this together. We have been contacted over the last few days by numerous people, healthcare organizations to manufacturers, those who have lab supplies, as well as those who have access to personal protective equipment that they want to help make available to the state. I want to echo what the Governor said in saying that we are extremely appreciative of these efforts. We want to be able to receive these offers and assess them in a coordinated and streamlined way. So with thanks to BJ Kumar, who runs our IT for the state, we will have active the online form that you can go to be able to see what exactly is needed for laboratory supplies as well as for personal protective equipment, and then fill out the information that will tell us what you have access to, where it's ordered from, or where it's manufactured from, so that we can get back in touch with you. The website that we will have for you is a separate one from our current website, and we will be including it in the people have worked very hard on making this available for you for today so that we can continue to receive this welcomed and appreciated outpouring of care. If you have already contacted us and have had a desire to provide some of the supplies, whether laboratory supplies or personal protective equipment, once this website is up and running, which it is and will be, please still use that form so that we can collect the information through that form. The materials that we are talking about are what's being used to help us stay in front of this every day. We're good for today, but we appreciate very much having this outpouring of response to help us stay in front. The swabs, for example, that have been discussed are not just normal swabs with cotton on the end of it. These are specific ones that are needed to obtain nasopharyngeal and oral pharyngeal specimens for an accurate test. So that's why this website will be very helpful for people to see exactly what's needed and to be able to provide that information. It's great news. It's a perfect example of how Rhode Islanders are working together, and we're happy to get it out to you. So I want to walk us through the data quickly. We have 11 new cases, and that brings our case count to 44. These people range in age from their 20s to their 60s. We know that in this group, people have traveled to New York and to Utah. Of these 11 people, one is hospitalized. As I mentioned yesterday, we are continuing to run expedited tests at Rhode State Health Laboratories for the highest risk populations. That is hospitalized patients, nursing home residents or other congregate settings, and healthcare providers, including EMS. For that reason, we are not surprised when we hear about hospitalized patients during these updates. We are still investigating each of these new 11 cases and absolutely conducting the extensive contact tracing work that occurs with each case that we know makes a difference in helping to contain this virus. I also want to address the second data issue. Since we saw our first COVID-19 case on March 1st, we have received questions regularly about which cities and towns people live in who have tested positive. Public health is about keeping people informed, but we also have a responsibility to balance this with the privacy expectations and rights of patients and families. That is why early on we have not been releasing information on place of residence. We now have more cases, so that will allow for more anonymity with each of these announcements. And we will be able to do a better job continuing to protect the privacy and rights of the patients and families. So in the coming days, we will start releasing data at the county level. We understand that this is an approach that other states are taking, and that this is something that many have been interested in seeing for Rhode Island. We want to make sure that we are comfortable, when we have the number of cases, to be able to do that in a safe and responsible way. We could get to the point where we start releasing information at the city and town level in the same way that we release aggregate numbers that are greater than 5 for overdoses in cities and towns. However, I want to stress that this is a public health emergency that we are responding to as one state. Rhode Islanders coming together. We know that Rhode Island is obviously very small, and borders between adjacent cities and towns and counties actually don't mean anything to a virus like this. So while that number will be made available, we want to caution you against reading too much